Don't attend DVC after being so brave and so bold in their designing for the youth and the elderly have had to be reined in a bit. I feel ever so slightly guilty earlier this week when I rolled out the new design brief, which limited us to how big is the design limited to?
1 metre box, 5 times 1 cube. Yeah.
1 metre cube, well done. Yeah, 1 metre box. They've got girls there using these. I really admire this group, the way they're working together. They're always thinking, well done, and brainstorming ideas and coming up, and they'll be moving on to their design soon. It's such a blessing to have that. We have got prizes today. Same with these guys too. Beginning to think through. And we've also added the idea of what in particular, what kind of materials have we talked about?
Recycling materials.
Recycling materials. Anything in particular, Ethan? We talked about one thing that bothers me since I've been in New Zealand. What was it?
Okay, what can you put in?
It's not the littering, no. They have fruit juice comes in 2.4 litre bottles, and they're very heavy. Those of you who know is that the plastic used, same as the glass industry, comes from a gob. It's called a gob. It's just like a big lump of molten goo. A gob. When you're making a bottle, and then you stick a tube in it and then blow into a mould and it comes out. And the bottles that they use for the fruit juice, I did have an example which I forgot to bring in, is very heavy. Very heavy. So we are giving some extra attention to students who can actually address the design. So we've got groups in here working. We've said that each student has to make an item, so if they do want to work in groups, they have to produce a range of things. And some of the students looking at helping the youth or young children or the elderly in various other ways. And getting to the point really, because we start inspiring issues. I start to feel excited and start talking with ideas. We've been looking at feng shui, looking at ways. Ideas. Yes, yeah. It's make sure we're capturing them. Danny's doing a great job of capturing them on paper. I know it's a little bit old-fashioned, some might say, but when we're sliding across all these information, look how much information he's actually looking at. Yeah, and there's no evidence a lot of the time. We kind of move on to the next page. So just catching down ideas quickly is a good way of just capturing some of those ideas. That's a beautiful one. I'm telling you, good job. Yeah, and looking at a way of enhancing open spaces and communities. And we'll hopefully get the students out into either a play centre or a school. There's a nice one up at Avondale, and or one of the retirement villages that they have here in New Zealand. So, have a good time, be nice to each other. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, and then 2 are playing on tanks. Let me steal with them. Have a good time, be nice to each other.